check this out. Alright, we are live, guys. We are live on Dat Wrasslin podcast, episode 5.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. We have no Soul today. No Soul. Soulamazin is not here. R.I.P. Soul. He died today. No, I'm just joking. He didn't die. Soul had some issues, I guess, he had to deal with his life.
Yeah, he's
life problems,
like
you know.
Family business.
But
Family
we
business.
are here with the rest of the crew. We got, you know, Sheepshifter up in here.
Yeah.
Ben Rivers up in here.
And the one and only Ben Rivers, of course. Yeah,
of course, Ben Rivers up in this joint. Can't forget about good old Ben.
Of course,
already
the
up
man
here as well.
Yeah, the man who actually decided just to choose Soulamazin as the person he was going to be wrestling with today.
Yep. You're here in spirit, Soul.
Yep,
there you go. You're right there.
Yeah, shout out to my damn it. Yeah, shout out to that Wrasslin podcast member Soulamazin.
Yep.
Where he is today.
Let me pop up this chat real quick. Everybody pop up the chat.
Yep, also, yeah, hello, Daniel Martinez, Sheepshifter, and Benjamin Rose. I just say hello to myself for a reason. Okay. Yeah, let me actually also tweet out
there we
this
go.
video. I'm gonna tweet it out.
There we go.
Tweet out.
Got the chat up here. It's all good now. It's all good.
Yeah, guys,
good.
it's
welcome to the stream.
8 days from WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
okay.
8 days to WrestleMania. 1 week away, guys. Can't wait for that. Can't wait. There's a lot to talk about.
Of the year, WrestleMania. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of actually like a little bit excited for WrestleMania. There's like a lot of matches going to probably be happening. Some rumors might be getting cancelled. I've heard recent news.
The following
but of course, like I will talk about those in a minute.
Yes.
What?
So let's get on with the main show here, Raw, of course.
Rah.
So what we had Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Ooh. Okay. So, anybody want to talk about this or what?
Okay.
And
this.
his opponents.
Okay. So this
Pittsburgh,
promo, it actually went really well so far, and then until Roman Reigns came out.
Yes, like Heyman revealed that Reigns' suspension has been lifted, you know, story-wise, of course. And, you know, he was talking, him and, you know, Brock was talking, and
Corey,
Big Dog came out and wanted some of, you know, Brock Lesnar. He wanted some of Brock Lesnar. I mean, I don't know if I could say that Big Dog was 100% for that. I guess he just wanted revenge or something. Like,
probably.
He wanted.
Hey, here's what they're doing. It's clear now the path that's going to be, and the path is going to be Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar either retires or he goes to a more part-time role, but not as champion. The reason I say this is because for the past 2 weeks, Brock Lesnar has buried Roman Reigns.
Yes, that is
and
true.
that alone is enough for me to say, without any doubt whatsoever, that Roman Reigns will win, because they've set it up so that it's almost impossible, quote unquote, for him to win, because they made him look so weak compared to Brock. Because Brock's just whooped his ass 2 weeks in a row. That's why I'm saying it's definitely 100% certain that Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, unless something crazy happens next week and Roman just destroys Brock Lesnar all of a sudden. And then I'll change my mind and say I don't know.
I get you. I get what you're saying. That seems like a good statement, you know. Brock beating the shit out of Roman. And we all seen how that went with Braun Strowman type deal. You know how Braun Strowman, when he had that rival with Braun Strowman beat fucking Roman Reigns to shit, like in every kind of. And then, you know, the end result was always Roman Reigns winning. That's what's gonna happen here. I feel like it's the same kind of thing that's happening here. We're having Brock beating Roman to shit with his fucking F5s and whatnot, and on the steel steps and whatnot.
That slam put him in a bad way, guys.
So yeah, that's my opinion on the promo.
I got you. What about you, Ben?
I do not know about like this. Okay, it just feels like it's what the hell means.
Feels like what, Ben? What does it feel like?
The Beast Incarnate put the sports
it just feels like
WWE in 2012.
like the story
and the fate of the WWE World Heavyweight title hung in the balance when Lesnar won it again in 2014. Brock Lesnar is considered one of the greatest combat sports athletes in history. Nothing will compare to WrestleMania 30 when the Beast Incarnate became the one who broke
he's
the
just like acting
Undertaker's
like Braun
undefeated
Strowman
streak at the Showcase.
Why call him Braun Strowman in this situation now? Great.
It's because, like I said, it's like similar kind of rivalry we got here. Like, why is all... I mean, I guess I understand. Like, they want Roman to be a face, and they gotta make him seem like a guy that can take a lot of shit, a lot of beatings and whatnot, and then overcome it. And I feel like we're just gonna see a lot of that. But the thing is, my question is, after this rival is done with Brock, who do you think he's gonna fight? Because supposedly Brock is gonna, like, you know, he's not retiring but quitting or whatever. I don't know. I think his contract or something is done. He's going back to UFC.
I think he's gonna go into UFC.
When Brock Lesnar appears on WWE
So who would Roman fight next?
Get
You guys have any
seriously
like
hurt.
speculations?
I don't know if there's anybody who can stop this man.
I don't even know about that situation.
Who would Roman fight next?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
You think so?
That's probably what they'll do.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Rollins and Seth Rollins
Or Dean
again?
Ambrose. Or Dean Ambrose.
I don't see Romans and Seth Rollins happen again because I feel like this...
Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is probably where it's gonna go.
That's more what I'm feeling. I feel like that's what's gonna happen is I think towards the, at the end of the match. Yeah, we've seen that too, but the thing is, it wasn't as long as a rival as these rivals, though. It was like, what?
You know, now, while I'm looking at it, we haven't really seen a big good push for Elias yet. I think he's going to get a push for the title sometime soon.
I don't know, man.
And Braun Strowman, he's got to hold the title soon.
Yeah, but we don't
everybody
want
knows
another.
Braun Strowman's gonna.
We don't want another Braun versus Roman.
Well, that's the thing. They're gonna take it off of Roman first, and see that would be perfect if Elias teams up with Braun Strowman for the tag team championship, then and they win that. And then somehow Elias wins the world title over Roman Reigns, and that would cause jealousy between Bray Wyatt. So, not Bray Wyatt, but that would cause jealousy between Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman would be jealous of the belt, and he would fight Elias for the belt, and he would win the belt, and there's Braun Strowman's title reign.
Yeah, I get you. Now, here's Daniel says something here. He says, but at WrestleMania, I don't remember Roman almost won.
They get dangerous out here, especially when there are no countouts.
Cashing in, yeah. That's true. Hey,
Soul in the house.
Soulamazin, the man, the legend, the person not playing us right now.
We're just talking about the promo with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, little scuffle.
Yeah.
The little scuffle that they had.
Tough spot here, Corey. Yep.
I mean, I think
we pretty much covered that, pretty well.
Yeah.
That leads into something that was, I guess, less exciting. You wanna?
Okay, so match we had.
Then, yeah, the first
Nia
match.
Jax taking on Mickey James.
I should have the first
match.
Yeah, you're not going to win many matches when you're down.
Because it was a really shit match.
Yeah, Nia Jax versus Mickey James.
So I'm gonna have to say it was a shit match.
I mean,
no, it wasn't a shit match.
It wasn't a shit match. It just, it's just a match you expected. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole,
and week after week, I've been sitting here about how I'm so sick of Mickey James and the whole Alexa Bliss thing. Does anybody else think it's completely retarded that a 6-time women's champion comes out to Alexa Bliss's music?
Oh,
yeah,
like it's not like it's not like she's a 6-time women's champion or anything, you know. So what's up with that?
I have no idea. I can kind of feeling you now, like on the other podcast, not the one from last week, but the other podcast. I'm kind of feeling about your statement here, saying your feelings with, you know, James and Alexa. You feel like they're like shouldn't even be like a tag team. Like I was saying before, how it's kind of similar in a way because you know it's the past and the future of, you know, one of the greatest women wrestlers, as in to hold the titles and like. Not like Reigns way, but like how many times they won it. And they're pretty close together there. But I just, I'm starting not to agree with this tag team that they're doing. Especially how it was awkward of them being friends again, apparently. And I don't know. It's the F5 from the Beast. I mean, there's not much to say about the match because it's just a match that you expected from last week. It's obviously the thing with WWE these days. It's more of a story, freaking soap opera type shit. Like it's stuff that you would expect. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
it's shit you would expect. There's not much. Like anticipation or like amusement from it because you know you watched last week and then okay next week is gonna be her versus her. Yeah, we know where this is gonna go. It just there's not much surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like when WWE does surprises, they just like throw somebody random out there or do something random and that's it. It's just all story. Nia's gonna be the new Bailey. That's what Soul says. They're downgrading her. I can't see Nia Jax as a face. I mean, they already tried Nia Jax being like this heel. But what makes them think if she's not gonna work out as a heel, what makes you think she's gonna work out as a face? Right? Like what the fuck?
Well, then what, is she just not going to work out?
I don't see her place nowhere. Okay, I'm not saying I don't see her place nowhere. I don't see it happening because the way that fucking WWE is fucking putting her together. I mean, they wanted her to be this Braun Strowman type woman wrestler. They wanted her to be a dominator in the women's division. That didn't work out so well. And now they're trying to turn her into a face in a similar way. I mean, do you see anything different happening? Do you see the crowd cheering Nia Jax and stuff? Like, what's going on here? Like, why do they keep trying with her? This is what I'm saying. Okay. Do you think we should keep trying with her or just let her go? Like, or have her come up with something, you know what I'm saying? Give her a chance to write like a script or something.
Yeah, but apparently like Nia Jax is actually been like being honored because of like this of this bullying.
No person could take much more of this.
Yeah, last week I was talking about how I didn't agree with them using her size as a storyline. Well, I guess I can take that out because apparently she is all. Well, I read a thing that she's all for it, and that she supports the idea, and that's their idea of bringing it to people's attention. So if that's the case, then she better win, because you can't have the person that's getting body shamed and bullied lose.
Yeah, but is she gonna win?
They have to win.
Do you see her winning? You say okay. Listen.
If that's the route they're going with this storyline and the body shaming, then she has to win so that it sends a positive message to the people getting body shamed. Otherwise, the only message it sends to people getting body shamed is, well, it's too bad. You're just fucking fat.
All right, true. I get you here, but here, I actually have something that we talked about as well. First, let me read what Soul says. I think she'll be a good face on this. She can showcase her real personality. She's related to The Rock. She's not going to get dropped. She's related to The Rock, never knew that. Anyways, we were talking about this during a podcast once about her winning, but Carmella cashing in and winning the title. You see that happening? Like,
Carmella's not cashing in on Nia Jax.
That's where I feel like it's gonna happen, because she's not gonna cash in on Asuka. They're not gonna have her cash in on Asuka. She's not gonna cash in on Asuka, not at all. If Asuka wins that match with Charlotte and becomes the women's champion for SmackDown, they're not gonna have Carmella come out and cash in. So the only route for Carmella to cash in at WrestleMania is if she cashes in on either Nia Jax or Alexa Bliss.
Well, yeah, here's what I'm thinking. She could cash in on Alexa Bliss before the match with Nia Jax ends, and that would make her the champion. And then all Nia Jax would have to do is pin Carmella.
Yeah, that could be another route. That could be another route.
Maybe.
No, that sounds like a good
the match
route
wouldn't end. Yeah.
If they want this whole thing you were saying to happen, they want Nia Jax to be, holding the title.
Yeah, just like,
Soul says that Carmella's gonna cash in on Asuka. I don't see that happening unless they do the same thing like Sheep just said, but with
Seth Rollins,
with Asuka
things definitely aren't looking very good for
what's her
him right
face,
now.
Charlotte. So if Carmella comes out and say it's like mid-match and they're both down, and she pins, I don't know if she has to pin the champion, but if she pins one of them and gets the title, and then let's say Asuka gets up, bada boom, bada bing, she takes her down, and then she gets the title. You know what I'm saying?
This is all but over.
Yeah.
We may be
So,
looking at our winner,
I mean,
guys.
the match is not like really over.
You just
Would
can't
it?
miss by that much, Cole.
I don't know. This, like, no matter what, like, they're saying she's gonna cash in at WrestleMania, so if she cashes in at WrestleMania, it has to be one way or the other of making either Asuka look good and or having Nia Jax look good, because you can't have both looking good, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know Asuka's undefeated, and we don't really know how long she's going to be undefeated for, but we know that she should win this match with Charlotte, because it only makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
They could always actually, just of course, actually throw like a massive curveball and actually have what's
I know it's like off topic here, but it's not really off topic that we're talking about, because it's still part of the whole, it's still part of the whole story anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're talking about Asuka and Charlotte, and they're on SmackDown and all that, but we're still talking about Nia Jax here as well, so it goes together.
Definitely. So that, I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything there is to cover about that match. Unless anybody else has something else to add.
I get what you're saying. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and find out. Boss Gamer's here as well. Carmella cashes in Alexa and one Nia pin her. And Nia pin her. Oh,
Okay,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying about. I was saying, like I was just saying earlier.
Guys,
Carmella
like
cashes in
here.
and pins Alexa. She wins, and then Nia comes up and pins her. Alright, I see that.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, can we talk about
How are
it?
these superstars
Yeah, the next match. We can talk about that. We're basically over with that.
Yeah. Okay, so our next match we had Cedric
Was
Alexander.
this actually a real match? Like, when was the last time I seen 205 play?
I don't know.
Well, the reason being is because it's so close to the championship match, because you know they got that vacant title.
Yeah. I was like, when's the last time I seen a 205 live match? Because I haven't seen a 205 live match in Raw in forever. And then all of a sudden they came up with this Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, TJP, and Hugo. So I'm like, okay, cool. Don't really give a shit. I have nothing to say about that match, so.
Well, I watched 205 live this week. You know what I mean, it goes a little bit different, but it did the job of continuing their storyline that's going on in there. It's not 205 Live used to be just a bunch of random matches at random time. You never knew what the fuck was going on. And now with Triple H under it, I can see it getting better. The problem is that everybody already lost interest. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They gave up on it already.
I lost interest a long time ago.
I watch it to so that I can keep up in case, and I do see it getting better, you know. So there is that, and it was a good match. They were good. The four people in that match were probably the best performers in 205 Live right now.
Yeah, true. I agree with you there. Cedric Alexander is a good performer. TJP is a good performer.
Anybody who watched Cruiserweight Classic knows what Cedric Alexander can do.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Drew Gulak, you know, is the only one, and I don't really know if I care for Mustafa Ali either. You know, they might be good technically and all that stuff, but they don't. I'm not that attracted to their characters or their styles.
Yeah,
and I don't really care for most of the luchadors, you know, like Kalisto and Sin Cara and even Grand Metalik and stuff.
I think nobody kids cares about that, honestly.
Maybe that's it. Because I loved Rey Mysterio when I was a kid, but I mean, adults still love Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was different. There was something special about Rey Mysterio.
The thing about Rey Mysterio is he was not just only a performer. He was just that good. You know, he was a good person. Like, he was a good guy. He wasn't such a kid's icon. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going around doing this stupid shit like lucha, stupid kids music, like this stupid kids chanting that shit. Lucha. No, he was a good performer. He was like, he appealed to everybody. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
He may be down for good. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I mean, his song was good. I mean, but you don't hear kids singing that song. 619. It's just a good song.
He just did that song.
Still
He just
before,
did that song. Oh, it's sweet.
Gonna be tough for him to fight back from this.
Well, for real though, that's the thing.
Back to his feet, which is clearly
I like the luchadores. Soul says he likes the luchadores. I don't know. You want to talk about that match, Ben? I really want to talk about the match.
Okay.
Taking him a while to get up here. I don't think he has anything left,
I have to say this right now. I did kind of actually lose a little interest in this, like what actually happened, what's going on with the 205 Live thing. But I'm just like losing interest in it
like his chances.
Already, I lost interest a long time ago.
Well, that's what I was talking about. That's the problem now, is that no matter how much better it gets, nobody really watches because they already gave up.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've been.
If this superstar can just
and they've actually also been bloody absent since like how long have they been? For the last several weeks on Raw.
Yeah,
that's how
they weren't really advertised on Raw. Like, you know, I remember when they first came out with the Cruiserweight Classics, and they were all on Raw. Even when they did 205 Live, they would have one match with the Cruiserweights. But recently, they just haven't had any matches till like until now. And I think not just because the vacant title. I feel like they didn't have it on Raw because they know that not a lot of people like 205, so I don't think they even.
Well, the vacant title match is at WrestleMania, so you know whether it's on the pre-show or not, that's still a WrestleMania match.
Yeah,
that is
true.
Yeah, and I think like the last.
Unless we start seeing some movement on the outside, I'm starting to think this one's over.
I don't think Hurricane is still 205 pounds or less. That's so amazing. I don't know if you remember seeing him at the Royal Rumble, but he looked a little pudgy there.
There are no timeouts in WWE.
He gained some weight. We all know
Looks
that.
like he's pinpointing the back. We're seeing an all-out assault on the back. When this guy's on,
alright, we can move on to the next thing, which was a good old Miz TV. Oh, I love Miz TV. Miz TV.
I'm never disappointed with Miz TV.
Same, and I actually like this one. This one is actually pretty smart planning on this one. They did good on this one. A little like sneakiness to this Miz TV here. We had you know, the Miz come out talking all this talk, and then I think Bo Dallas said something. What did he say? What did Bo Dallas say?
You're just an overrated. You're just a cat. Something about a wannabe A-lister who can't fight.
Yeah, he said that about the Miz, and it made you to think that, you know, Bo Dallas is like, you know, he had something to say, and you know, he wanted to stick up and just like say something. And then, you know, you have Seth Rollins coming out, right? Was it Seth Rollins coming out first, or? Yeah, I think it was Seth Rollins coming out first.
It was Balor.
Oh, it was Balor coming out first? Alright. No matter what, one of them came out first and they started talking about it. It's like, oh, I think Bo Dallas has something to say. He said something on his breath. I was watching the back TV over there and I heard it sound like something that, and then Bo Dallas was like, no, that's not what I said. And then he said out loud what he said, and Miz is like, oh, really? Oh, it was pretty good, and like Finn Balor came out and like, and then I guess it made you want to believe that like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas like wanted to fight Miz or something, but that wasn't all to believe. It was like a little plan that they had to have Bo Dallas and whatnot go after Finn and.
Okay, well, I like how it definitely it involved everybody that's involved in it, including Gallows and Anderson. So here's a scenario I'm thinking might happen at WrestleMania or post WrestleMania or here in the near future. I'm seeing a Balor Club that's a lot more similar to the Bullet Club, and that it's going to be real big, and it's going to be that big faction we've been waiting for.
You think there's going to be a big faction with
I think it is, and I think one of the first people in this faction is going to be Seth Rollins.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
You think Seth
Rollins? And I think that Finn Balor, and I think that maybe AJ Styles heads to Raw, and joins it as well, or that they split it. AJ Styles leads it on SmackDown, and Balor leads it on Raw, and they take over both sides of it.
I can see that happening as well, but is it gonna happen though? Soulamazin says it was Seth Rollins.
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for that Adam Cole to go on one of the brands, because then that would complete it. That would complete it more.
That's
and then have what's his face? What's his face? Come down. Oh man, what's his name? I forgot his name now.
Is it okay?
From Japan Wrestling.
It was New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, have Kenny Omega come down. Like there was like all these hints and whatnot from Kenny Omega to come down to one of the big brands, and I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it might happen around the same time Adam Cole goes to one of the big brands, and we can see maybe Adam Cole and Kenny Omega on SmackDown with AJ Styles, and then they can form a group right there. That could happen.
And here's the thing: I really do like Bo Dallas and Kurt Axel.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing them as the Miztourage. As much as I like the Miz, I think the Miz is more than capable of holding his own. But at the same time, if you try to push Kurt Axel or Bo Dallas, they're probably not going to be successful because they're not big. They're not going to get that Daniel Bryan push. That's a 1 in a million type thing. They're not the right size to be the next big thing. Maybe Kurt Axel could get a...
They tried to push Bo Dallas. I don't mean to cut you off, but they tried to push Bo Dallas a few times.
Yeah, but with that Bo Leaf bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
And then with, in that faction with Heath Slater or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aleister Black.
Yeah, those weren't pushes. The Social Outcast or whatever.
Well, the Social Outcast wasn't pushed, but they tried to push his own gimmick when he was by himself.
Yeah, that Bo Leaf was terrible.
Yeah, but you can say that with any other fucking stupid gimmicks they have going on, trying to push Jason Jordan and with his stupid gimmick, and like you can't say they tried, because they did try. Even though WWE has a way of doing stupid gimmicks and ruining like good superstars' careers by doing stupid gimmicks. I mean, I guess they tried.
Okay, so yes. Also, the Miz actually implied that he was a better Intercontinental Champion than Mr. Perfect. It's actually
that's why they went after Seth. Well, that's why the Miz was got.
Also, Soulamazin just said Jason Jordan is amazing.
I mean, it was a good promo, I'm gotta say. Miz always puts on good promos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's the Miz. Did you expect anything else?
Nah, not really.
Okay, also...
He's like the A-lister of promos. That's his thing, man. Alright, do we want to move on to a squash match?
Yep.
A couple of squashes.
Can I just
say something? I'm actually now starting to hate these squash matches in WWE. They're just really pissing me off. I don't know why they...
I don't know. I thought it was entertaining.
The Asuka versus Jamie Frost match. Oh, squash match.
Okay, I mean, it was a squash match, but it was quick. It finally made Asuka look, strong. Where almost every match she's had since joining the main roster,
look strong? I don't even know who the fuck Jamie Frost is.
I don't know.
So Jamie
it was like an instant KO. It was over instantly, pretty much. But
it
here's
just
the
showed
point.
that other bitch was weak as fuck. She should have never been on there.
Not in contrast. Because look, since Asuka joined the main rosters, every match she's had has been hard fought. She's fought crappy people that were like 10-minute matches. She fought Dana Brooke for like 10 minutes.
I know.
Not Dana Brooke. what was her name that got fired the next night? Emma.
I've got one person in mind. Shut up, find him.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a squash match. That's all there was to say. I know what you're saying. I know why they put squash matches out to keep, you know, to keep the good talent active, especially if it's coming close to WrestleMania or a big event match. You gotta keep that wrestler active, and it doesn't really give Jamie Frost or any of these other people that are in these squash matches anything to lose or gain, because, like, do you even know the person? Like, for real, it's like, okay, this person is here. Who is that person? She's gonna die. He's gonna die. Whatever who is and die. But it just happened.
Yeah, we actually might keep that till the end. Oscar Moboa.
But yeah, I guess we can move on. I guess.
Yeah.
Not much else to say.
I mean,
about
it's a squash match. No point in dwelling on it.
Matt Hardy declaring himself to be
Stan, we're not talking about Matt Hardy right now. Next match is Braun versus Sheamus.
Excuse me, I think he actually did miss 2 segments. A heel turn. Heel turn.
For who? Who's turning heel?
Sasha Banks and Bailey.
Oh, that segment with that backroom segment where you know, Sasha fucking going after Bailey, smashing her face against, like, wasn't it a locker and fucking a wall or something.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was. It wasn't like, it was kind of quick. It was like a few minutes of a little scuffle in the back between them two, but it was quick enough to miss, because I kind of missed half of that. But yeah. I mean, I guess it goes to show you the supposed heel turn of Sasha, I guess, if you want to call it that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's move on to Braun Strowman versus Sheamus, which was...
If this one is anything like TLC matches in the past, you can bet
it was an alright match, but it was also, you know, a match you expected, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those matches you expected to happen, since, you know, Braun Strowman is going to apparently fight them both, but obviously he's going to have a tag team partner at WrestleMania.
To get this match started.
I'd agree with that, Cole. And it sounds like this arena is right there with them. They are absolutely electric right now.
We already discussed it being Elias going to be his partner.
Well, there's rumors that it could be Rey Mysterio.
What rumor is that from? How the hell would it be Rey Mysterio?
Where is that rumor?
There have been rumors that it could be Rey Mysterio, and that would be fitting with Vince McMahon's, you know, things if he likes putting opposites together, like big and little. It's heavily rumored. You can I'll cite my sources, but I'll post it.
I know. So
yeah, definitely.
Bray, what the fuck? Ray, what the fuck?
I need to check this. I need to say this right now. Hang on. I want to check this. Mysterio.
I don't see it being Ray at all. Even though Ray said he would come back to WWE. But doesn't Ray have an injury? I'm pretty sure Ray has an injury. I heard that Rey Mysterio has an injury at the moment.
He does have an injury.
So it wouldn't be him. Unless he's
no, they're saying that's that he's it's being rumored.
So here's a headline right here says the real reason Rey Mysterio won't return for WrestleMania 34. That's a headline right here. Just search that. So I'm not gonna read the headliner. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but
no easy match for him here tonight. Yeah, but you can say that about every match here on the card. There's no such thing as a cakewalk here in the WWE.
If that doesn't work, I'll just put it in the Discord. But I don't see it being Ray at all, honestly. Elias is more likely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that I believe you, but there's other stuff too.
Yeah, I know there's
I'm just saying that I read it. It's a rumor going around.
I just think 90% it's going to be Elias. Because why would they have Elias be in all these matches and whatnot if, like, all these big matches and have this, rival against Braun? And that has nothing to do with him joining Braun or being at WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying?
I just address it.
I'm just saying it's been rumored.
I know, I got you, I get you. You can say it.
I read it.
Why didn't we cut off with Braun Strowman? Yeah, I thought basketball.
There are so many variables at play in a triple threat. It's impossible to predict how this match will unfold. Yeah, he's a good one.
Do you want to talk about the match? Say how the match is.
Anybody in the WWE universe. A lot of talent in there.
I like Braun Strowman, and then I don't. Well, I guess the Bar I'm not supposed to like. I like Cesaro. Sheamus is whatever. I guess I like Sheamus and Cesaro, and it's been a good build for them, and they've got a good run. So I guess I can say I respect what they got. But
very quickly, anything else?
There's a point that Bleacher Report makes that they say that they think it devalues Sheamus and Cesaro for them to get beat up by Braun Strowman, and I can't say that I agree with that.
Yeah,
Braun
that's
Strowman
true,
is the monster among men. He freaking destroyed Roman Reigns. You know, he should be able to destroy Cesaro or Sheamus one-on-one. And that gives more credence to, like, Rey Mysterio being a good partner. Because, you know, oh, come on, I don't need anybody big. Come on, I'll take this tiny little man. You know, something like that. You know, something funny to make it, you know, juxtaposition. Vince McMahon loves contrast.
Always has a plan.
And that's what I read in the thing that I'm saying. And also Elias would be a good one too, because, you know, he's like, you don't even have to do anything, just sit there and sing, or, you know, whatever. So Elias would be a good one too. That's the only people I like.
Can I just bring up something like you were just talking about? I think I might have just lost the train of thought now. Okay. So, as you were saying how having Braun Strowman either fight, you know, Sheamus or Cesaro one-on-one or both, and having Braun Strowman win against them, it kind of, you know, it kind of puts the Bar down a bit, because the Bar is such a great tag team in Raw or in WWE in general. The Bar is a good tag team since it was formed, and towards the beginning, since
they're
it was
a tag
formed,
team though.
Yeah, but since they were formed, I didn't expect them to be such a good tag team until, you know, history. But let's just say, if Braun Strowman and whoever his tag team partner is going to be defeats Sheamus and Cesaro, one of the best tag team, you know, of all time, wouldn't this look bad for them? Not of all time, but current, you know, generation.
And if they stay together, they might get considered someday for all time, but that depends on if WWE decides to break them up or not.
But, like, you know what I'm saying here, right? Wouldn't this make them look kind of bad? Like, wouldn't this put them down a bit? You know, because we have Braun Strowman most likely going to single-handedly own both of them at WrestleMania and win the title with whoever else.
I don't know. Here's what I would like to see happen with that match. I would like whoever his partner to be the one who wins and to be the reason they win. I would like to see Sheamus and Cesaro come up with a tactic to take Braun Strowman out of the match. And then the partner has to beat Sheamus and Cesaro, and the partner wins. I think that would be a great match. If it was Elias or if it was Rey Mysterio. Think about it. Sheamus and Cesaro take Braun Strowman out. They think they pretty much won. And then Elias sits there and wins, gets the victory. No one would see it coming. Everyone would be like, what the actual fuck?
I get you.
I think that would be great. Great booking.
Yeah. But when does WWE ever do great booking?
Wait.
WrestleMania. That's the only time they do great booking.
Sheamus' hair grown. I swear like Sheamus' hair has grown. That's what it's grown.
That's what hair does, yeah.
I didn't know that.
It tends to grow.
I didn't know what you guys, but my hair doesn't grow.
Okay,
stays
who made this channel? 1 inch. Okay, Monkey said, and I quote, who made this channel first?
Who made this channel first? What do you mean who made this channel first?
We all created it together. We made a decision together to create a podcast.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, can we actually? Okay, let's talk about the next segment because I'm just because I know we are getting off time.
Thunderous use of the name.
Absolution and the Russell Rousey and Kurt Angle segment. This segment,
he doesn't appear to be in a hurry to get up here.
Actually did show like Ronda Rousey's strength a little bit.
I guess it was to put her in action. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was to put her in action. I guess like that's the only thing I see that I don't know if you want to call it a promo match. I don't know what you want to call it. It's kind of a squash match, kind of promo match. I don't know what you want to call it, but I think it's just to put Ronda in action before. You know, give her some action that we can see.
I think here's the problem: they're giving her a big WrestleMania match, and she is not ready.
That's true.
She is not ready.
I agree.
Like the moves that she did against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were Kurt Angle is going to have to carry this match. And Kurt Angle is old as fuck, and he wasn't able to hardly do anything when he was teamed up with the Shield.
That's true.
What the hell are they thinking with this?
No,
that's going to be bad.
That's what I was saying before.
This is Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey for one. That's going to be terrible because neither one of them can wrestle. And Triple H versus Kurt Angle, which is going to be terrible because Triple H is a dickhead and Kurt Angle is old as fuck.
Tell us how you really feel. Come on now.
Triple H, he just wants to make himself look good.
Yeah, I know.
When he's out there.
Yeah. Just say so right now, Sheep. Okay, I actually don't think like you actually do not want you know, of course, Triple H actually like giving you a pedigree.
No, I would never say that to Triple H's face. I can say that because we're on the internet right now, and I'm perfectly safe.
I totally agree with what you're saying here as well. I totally agree what you're saying. But I also made a statement saying on
as far as for WWE, I think Triple H is probably the best thing that's happened to the WWE since Stone Cold. Because since he took over management of NXT and 205 Live, I've seen nothing but great things. And I hope Vince McMahon gives him the keys to the kingdom fucking tomorrow.
Yep.
Alright. Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
Just so as long as he keeps, Shane involved at some degree and, doesn't just like take over.
Like I was saying before, how Ronda and Kurt Angle, how their promo game was horrible. Their promo game was horrible, and I would think Ronda's promo game would improve, honestly. But as for wrestling wise, you kind of cleared that up with she's not being ready, and Kurt Angle is old as fuck, like you said. And I'm not gonna say he's not bad at wrestling, but he's just old, man. He's just old. He can't stay in the game. I think it's just certain people. They could be old and they can still wrestle, but I don't think Kurt Angle is one of those guys. He can still
wrestle, yes, but he can't take too many bumps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have much stamina, so he can't go for very long.
Yeah,
so he's going to have to tag in every once in a while. And then what's going to happen when they tag in? Is Stephanie McMahon going to actually beat up on Ronda Rousey for a little bit? Is that actually going to freaking happen? Or are we going to see Ronda Rousey getting beat up by Stephanie McMahon?
The intensity.
I think it's going to be
for any point in time. How can it not?
It's gonna be corny.
It's gonna be the worst.
Thank you for you know, of course, your boy Soulamazin and also Dat Wrasslin for timing out somebody. Thank you.
It's gonna be a corny match. Yeah, I knew it from the start. That's why I told you guys from the start that they should have done something better with Ronda Rousey for her first match. They should have done something better. And putting her up, okay, I can understand putting her in WrestleMania. Because she's such a big UFC fighter, big star. And they're like, oh yeah, let's put her up in WrestleMania. And you know, it's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna love it. Yeah, but it also comes down to if she's ready and what kind of fucking storyline you're giving her. I mean, I get the storyline, I get it. I mean, it could be good of a storyline, but the thing is, it's not the right kind of storyline.
They have to be on fumes right now.
The form factor of it is alright. Like, you know, you have the Authority, I should say, and you have Ronda Rousey, and like, you know, we do need another anti-Authority kind of rival going on, because there's always going to have an anti-Authority rival going on in WWE. I mean, we've seen many of those, and obviously it's going to happen. But
aka John Cena and the Authority.
This one's getting ugly. You might want to turn away if you have a weak heart.
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to find out, see how that match goes. Like we all can agree that it's gonna be a corny match, and it might not be that great. But I mean, I don't think it really matters for them, honestly, because just having Triple H there and Ronda Rousey is kind of a big deal, because they're big stars. You know what I'm saying? Triple H is big in the WWE. And Ronda Rousey is from UFC, and she's a big star there. And a lot of people can tell you that they know Triple H and they know Ronda Rousey. So I guess in the quote of, you know, Triple H, it's best for business.
It's best for business just to have. We need to make Triple H look stronger.
I know, right?
I don't know why I just said that.
Make Triple H look strong.
Okay, wait. I might see how this might go. Triple H gets the advantage on Kurt Angle. Kind of starts whooping on him and making him look bad. And Ronda Rousey saves him by, like, putting Triple H in an armbar or something like that.
Oh boy.
I think she's going to armbar Triple H and make him tap.
Why the fuck is potato scallop?
Could be true. Could be true.
Sweating.
That's how they put Ronda Rousey over. Make Triple H tap.
I just bent my finger doing that. Ow.
She can even get beat up by Stephanie McMahon for a little bit if she makes Triple H tap.
Yeah,
it's true.
I feel you.
So that's man, they need to, like, pay me for this shit.
Ow! Yo, well, you don't forget to talk about that. Yeah, your motherfucking fingers get burnt.
Yeah, man, they need to pay him for this shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can move on now. Who else? Collins.
Get to our next match.
I do like this because it did carry on the storyline from earlier. You know, it was set up nicely. It was all in this nice little package. Like, here's the story from earlier, and we're gonna finish it off now. Here you go. Finally, you know, WWE is back on track with how they do things, and that's, you know, 101 stuff, basic stuff that they should have been doing for a long time. That I feel has been missing.
I agree with you. It was set up pretty good. I agree. But was it a good match? To me, I thought it was a pretty good match. It was pretty decent. I mean,
I don't think it had time to build. Nobody was really invested in it, you know.
Yeah. But obviously, you know, Gallows and Anderson was going to win that match anyways, regardless, because they're like 5 times better than both of them, 10 times better than both of them.
Well, they're jobbers. So Who's better or not is only dependent on who's over at the time.
Yeah.
Who's getting the push? It's just like it could be said that, there's a lot of people in the WWE that are better, but they're not getting the push. So.
Gotcha. I know what you're saying. That is true. That is true. Of course, it's true. It's true. It's damn true. There's not really much to say about the match. You basically summed the match up, and there's not much to talk about it because it's kinda, I should say, a squash match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
A storyline squash match. Filler. Well, it's story, so it's a storyline squash match. So, I mean, it's just there. We can move on to the next one unless Ben has anything to say about that.
Anything to say about Mr. Oz versus Gallows and Anderson, Ben?
No, I've got nothing to say about that because I didn't even watch it. That's why.
Alright, so.
But the next match, of course, Elias taking on Rhino. That was, of course, the next match. Which, it was kind of like a. I don't know how to explain this right now.
This just to show that Rhino and Heath Slater is over. They got buried a long time ago, and having Elias win against Rhino.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think this was on the Hulu version of Raw. I think I missed this, and it was unfortunate because I'm a fan of Elias. I think most people who've met me or listened to the podcast at this point know that I like Elias. I think he's the bee's knees as far as wrestlers go. I think he is our version of Jeff Jarrett.
Will make you happy to know that he totally made a fool out of Rhino.
And
by winning the match.
and then beat up Heath Slater afterwards. And Coachman happened to bring up the fact that Elias doesn't have a match at WrestleMania and inferred that he might be Strowman's tag team partner. So was that WWE trolling us? Or is that them saying that it's going to be the way it goes?
I don't know.
Or is that just something is that a curveball to make people think, oh, Elias, and then they say, oh, let's bring out Rey Mysterio and really fuck with him?
I don't know.
You never know around WrestleMania time.
True.
So was it a good match?
I don't know. Honestly, it was just a match, man. It was just.
Okay.
Oh man, it was just a match. I guess.
Hang on a second. Okay.
Well, the thing is, Rhino came down, and he interrupted. I think. He interrupted Elias when he was doing it in his little fucking promo that he usually does.
Sheep, are you gonna pick someone?
And then basically, Elias just put him down with the drift away with the pinfall. It was a match, man. It's not like a match that you would call a good match, a great match, but a match is just being a match. It's kinda a squash match, but not really a squash match because I can't really say it's a squash match because, well, I guess you can now say it's a squash match because Rhino and Heath Slater is just basically jobbers now. And it's sad though. Like, I agree with Soul because I really like Rhino and Heath Slater as well, and I really like Rhino as a solo wrestler as well. And I wish they just would have bring Rhino back as a good, give him some good, matches, you know what I'm saying? Rhino was a good wrestler back in the day. So, I don't know.
Rhino needs to team up with that shorter guy from Heavy Machinery. They look just alike. Or Rhino needs to team up with Bo Dallas. Because has anybody noticed like the resemblance between Rhino and Bo Dallas lately? Like when they wrestle? Like at the Royal Rumble, one of the announcers even mistook Bo Dallas for Rhino. They called him Rhino.
Okay, hang on. Okay, Triple H is now Kratos from God of War.
So,
if you really want to watch the match, like it wasn't really a match, honestly. It was just a promo match.
Check it out. Rhino and Bo Dallas. Rhino and Little Rhino.
Oh God, the way.
Yeah, I posted. I posted
Baby Rhino.
I posted it in the Discord, and I'll post it in the chat as well. The match for Rhino. It's not really a match. Promo match. That's what we're gonna call these things. Promos that turn this into a match.
A match.
A promo match.
Okay. Okay, can I just quickly just say so now? My body really wants to talk about this stupid damn main event because I don't want to. Like, I know I'm probably talking off subject.
Oh, the no disqualification match, John Cena and Kane. Yes, that's the last match.
I've kind of enjoyed this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This the match. Okay.
So what can you say?
Okay, so yes, I kind of actually like how sorry, Johnson's actually facing Kane, and I think it's actually advancing like the storyline for the Undertaker, but why didn't Undertaker not show up? That's the real reason. Like I'm just trying to think of right now. Why did he not show up?
Predator, Randy Orton. Look at him, just hunting his prey.
He's not gonna show up until WrestleMania. That's why.
Well, he
and I kind of actually like how Johnson was actually mimicking the Undertaker the entire time. Like he went for a choke slam.
Yep. Because he was dedicating the match to Undertaker. This is you, man. This is what I'm gonna mess you up, man.
I have mixed emotions about this because he was disrespectful to the Undertaker, mocking him the whole time. Same time, it's all build to this supposed to be incredible story. One thing that I do know is, as much as I love the Undertaker, if I'm really honest with myself, brutally honest,
let it on, man. It's all good.
Undertaker's matches have gone down in quality. As much as you want to see Undertaker have a match, you're never gonna get another amazing Undertaker match like we used to have, because he can't do that anymore. He can't perform at that level anymore. It's the same thing with Kurt Angle. As much as you want that match to happen, how good is John Cena versus The Undertaker gonna be? At best, how good can it be?
I don't know.
How many bumps can The Undertaker take from John Cena? How many times can he pick up John Cena?
I get what you're saying. You watched his WrestleMania matches, like
the last WrestleMania match against Roman Reigns. He got winded. He was tired. He couldn't sell all the moves. It started becoming, and it's The Undertaker. It can't be a bad match because it's The Undertaker. The fans won't let it be a bad match. They'll still cheer regardless, and I'll still cheer regardless. But if we're brutally honest with ourselves, the matches aren't as good. So,
as good as you want it to be good.
At what point do we really legitimately risk these people's health for the sake of fans wanting one more match?
I don't think it's just that, though. I think, honestly, Undertaker wanted to do another match. It's not just the fans that want these matches. It's also dependent on the wrestler. The wrestler wants to come out and put a match on for these fans, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say it's our fault for having a match that we want to see with the Undertaker. It's not our fault saying, "Oh, we want to see Undertaker in another match," because we can say we want Stone Cold to come back all we want. This is never going to happen. It's all about the wrestler, if he chooses to come back or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So it's not entirely our fault, if you want to try to put it that way, saying it's kind of our fault. But
yeah,
surprises him with that.
I think I also actually do remember that the Undertaker actually did tweet out saying that like all this disrespect, it's gonna be like, I think he might come back, but okay, I just think like he might come back as a biker taker. I'm just like a little confused.
The biker taker, nah. Like we talked about this before, for another last match. For another last match of Undertaker, because there's multiple times where we thought it was going to be his last match.
Yeah.
But for another last match of Undertaker, he's not going to come out as Biker Taker, man. It's just not going to how it's going to be.
I do agree who better to pin than Cena. After all this trash talk and nonsense about Cena and WrestleMania and how hard he had to fight to get his WrestleMania match, I think it would be just a good, FU to Cena to have Undertaker pin him. But at the same time, how good of a match can it be? Unless he beats him really fast, that would be awesome. If like he tombstoned him and then the end.
Back between the ropes.
But that's not going to happen. They're going to have a slow, methodical, a lot of headlocks and holds on the ground. Yeah.
Technical fight.
There's not going to be a lot of body slams, pile drivers, AAs. Cena will probably do that running dive thing he does a lot.
Shoulder tackle.
Yeah. The Undertaker will do old school once or twice. But I mean, how good can the match be? I mean, and I may be wrong here. Maybe Undertaker's been working really hard, and we're going to see it happen, and it's going to be the best match either one of them ever had.
I'm hoping for a best match for Undertaker because, like you said, it's been a while since we actually seen a good match. I mean, we're not gonna lie and say seeing Undertaker is not a good match, but the performing is just, it gets slower and slower with him. He gets winded easy. He can't take as much bumps. It's like trying to have Kurt Angle fight.
Oh god. Okay, so yeah. Also, Sol just said, okay, Johnson is not going to win. Absolutely no possible way in the universe. Bring Taker back to WrestleMania. It's just a lose.
He's got to be careful here.
He brought Taker back.
That's what we said. That's what we said last year too.
Yeah, we said that last year. They brought Taker back to what?
No way they're gonna. No way
whatever?
Roman Reigns is gonna beat Undertaker. He already lost to Brock Lesnar. Why would they do that to him? He's the Undertaker. They can't do that to the Undertaker. What'd they do?
Yeah, and it's just like, why? Why are they bringing back just to lose just one match against Roman Reigns? Like, it's just stupid.
Because it doesn't hurt the Undertaker. It doesn't hurt him. He could face Undertaker can face fucking Kurt Hawkins and lose to Kurt Hawkins, and nobody would give a shit. They would just complain about Kurt Hawkins. That's all they would complain about. And then at the end, nobody gives a fuck if Undertaker lost. They just want to see Undertaker again in another match.
He's not giving up that easy.
So that'll come of that. It's like no one cares if Undertaker loses against somebody, but they just want to see him in another match. They're always going to want to see him.
Cena always needs to push, so.
Cena needs the pushes, man. He needs those pushes.
Remember, Vince McMahon does like big sweaty man.
Surprise him with a chop.
That was push Roman. Cena need a push. Cena is the god of pushes, man. What are you talking about?
Sent into the corner.
Remember, remember, he is like Super Saiyan. Remember, he's Super Saiyan.
He makes the goddamn rules around here. Cena is gonna be the next Triple H. He's gonna take over the fucking company.
I bet he gets a part of it.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
Yo,
I'm sure he'll end up running a big part of WWE, if not like being a huge part of like management, he'll have a say. Nothing will get through without, just like Undertaker. Nothing really goes on without the Undertaker say so.
So you're gonna stop watching wrestling when your goat gets beat by Roman Reigns?
Finn Balor is simply not looking good at all here.
You know how Soul loves the goat. The goat Brock Lesnar.
He actually did actually like just say he would stop watching WWE.
I know, I saw that. That's why I was saying if he's gonna stop watching when Roman Reigns beats beats Brock. He said, no, hello. Oh, okay. Okay, we can move on to SmackDown.
It's take a lot more than that to keep Daniel Bryan down, Saxton.
We can move down to SmackDown. Move on to SmackDown.
Let's get straight to SmackDown.
Yeah, the first match being Randy Orton and Bobby Roode versus who's that? Rusev and Jinder Mahal once again in the tag team. Oh my God, that's always good. Woohoo!
Fucking submission makes so much.
Yep. Rusev and Jinder Mahal.
This was supposed to actually be like a little bit of PG channel. Supposed to be a PG, and I just went off.
Then I've been cussing all day. It's not a PG channel.
Alright, it's not a PG channel. Sorry. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Jinder Mahal and Rusev tagging against Randy Orton. I mean, it does make for good stories, but
yeah,
here's the thing.
It wasn't a tag. It was to insert Rusev into the thing, so it wasn't a tag team at all.
It wasn't a tag, but like you were saying, it was just to give Rusev his push kind of thing, like inserting him into this, like they've been doing, inserting him to like big matches lately and giving him some hype and whatnot. And I mean, it did make good for a good story. I mean, Jinder and Rusev did have partnership in the past, that they did have a tag team in the past. And I mean, it was just there, it fit well, and it made it good for a good match. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good match. I thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, some people say it's not a good match, but I thought it was pretty good. I mean, anything with Bobby Roode and Randy Orton in it, I think is pretty good. Even that corny match that Randy Orton had with Bray Wyatt at the, that stupid house match that they had. When they were fighting in the House of Horrors or some shit like that. Or some bullshit it was called. I mean, anything with Randy Orton, my boy Randy.
I remember you defending that match like it was the greatest.
The greatest match of all time.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was good. It was good. I like this and I like this about it. And there was this and I like this.
I'm a big Randy fan, alright? You don't even know. I like
Randy Orton as well. I used to hate him when he was like going around as the Legend Killer. I hated him.
You hated him as the Legend Killer? I loved him as the Legend Killer. I'm like, that's my boy Randy. You fucking shit up. Punting
when he like
people in the head.
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
It was like Ric Flair and old people, and I was like, this asshole.
Well, he was the Legend Killer. That was his gimmick. People ended their careers.
I did like him as a heel.
I like Randy as anything. Randy's just that boy. I like him for anything. I don't care if he becomes a jobber. I still like him. I just want to see them RKOs out of nowhere. I want to see those RKOs.
Yeah.
I started again after I stopped watching WWE for years. I wasn't watching when all that happened. He's talking about that match.
Why, of course, like a let's get myself drinking water and something.
Yeah, Randy's great. You can't say Randy's not great. If you say Randy's not, if you're a wrestling fan and you say Randy's not great, then you're just stupid. And Bobby Roode is another one of my favorites. He's one of those new wrestlers that I really have high hopes for, and I really want to see Bobby Roode go somewhere big. I want to see him get a big title. big title
it looks like he may
run.
the yes lock is applied.
Like such as the WWE title.
Looks like Brian's
No matter, no, I don't care what title it is. If it is the title for like the main title for Raw, or if it's the United States title, I just want to see a nice big run with it with Bobby Roode, and a good run with him. I would like to see that.
Okay, yeah. So how do you actually like Bobby Roode as like a face right now?
It doesn't matter to me.
It's one of those. I think he's good for whatever you put him in.
Exactly. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
He's like one of those guys that he'll fit into anything you put him in.
Yeah, that's true. 2009, Randy Orton was badass. I do agree. Basketball.
Now, what do you think about Rusev?
Rusev, okay, the gimmick.
What, in the match?
It is.
For the match?
No, yeah, you talk about how much you like Randy Orton and how much you like Bobby Roode. What do you think about Rusev?
Oh, Rusev is good. I like Rusev.
Especially recently.
Yeah, for recently as well.
Before I knew how cool of a guy he was, I didn't like him. But when I started seeing like the funny stuff and like how he is on social media and stuff like that, I started to actually become a fan.
The recent stuff they've been doing with Rusev, the whole Rusev Day, I really like, and I really want to see what they go with this. I feel like all these matches they put Rusev in, and these pushes that they've given him, I see them inserting him.
I see him winning at WrestleMania because they inserted him. I think he's getting. They're trying to create another Daniel Bryan moment. They're trying to seize those opportunities.
Wait, didn't Rusev and Aiden English had like a thing in the back where they said they were gonna go talk to Daniel Bryan of being in that match? I'm pretty sure they had a little. It was Rusev, Aiden English, and Jinder Mahal. They were talking in the back. And Aiden English and Jinder Mahal said something to Rusev, and they said, we're going to go see Daniel Bryan to be put in, for Rusev to be put in that match in WrestleMania. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Rusev win that match.
I think it's going to happen.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in that match. Even though we've seen him already have United States title reign, we've seen Rusev hold United States title. What, 2 times, I believe? I'm pretty sure it was more than once. But in a good way this time. Not his stupid other gimmick they give him. Oh, Rusev, Bulgarian Brutal. It's like something fresh. Would be good.
Ow, when I spread my hands. Okay, so can we actually talk about the next match, please?
Yeah, we can talk about the next match.
Another squash match. Okay.
You think so? Really. It's not really a squash match. It's just a storyline rivalry match.
Another storyline.
Yeah, and squash matches are defined by the fact that one person dominates the entire thing. Okay. And that didn't happen. This was a back and forth, a regular wrestling match. So, unless we're redefining squash, that's incorrect, sir.
Taking on Ruby Riott.
He's just saying it's a squash match because he doesn't like Ruby Riott. I know all you guys have no faith in Ruby Riott. I know all you guys have no faith in Ruby Riott. Come on now, she does amazing promos.
I can smell that sarcasm.
I don't know. Just say something.
Nah, but I do see Ruby Riott going somewhere. I mean.
Well, she will because she's unique. She's got a different thing than everybody else in the division. So once that leads us into the Becky Lynch. We're still on Becky Lynch, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a good match, I thought. Here's one thing that I couldn't help but notice. Did anyone else notice that the whole match, Becky Lynch had a wedgie?
Did she really?
Those tights were stuck so far up her ass. It was ridiculous. I think she was trying to eat him from the other end.
Oh God!
I didn't notice it.
I did
not notice.
You checked up there.
No,
I did not notice.
Maybe that's my fault for looking too hard.
I think you've been looking at her ass too hard. Like, damn,
maybe that's it.
Look at that ass, Becky. You got that nice ass.
Trying to catch a peek.
Wait, that ass has, you eating them tights, Becky. What's going on?
I better watch it. She's like dating a UFC fighter or something like that, so. I watch what I say. You never know who listens to podcasts.
Oh, yeah. You never know. Like, somebody's big is gonna watch our podcast. Come on, guy.
They all listen.
Yes, for example, like Ruby Riot, just like of course, like so just watches this match and go, okay, yeah, that's what they actually think of me. Then I'm just like, no, sorry. Okay, what is the next thing? Oh, okay. This is actually one of my favorite moments. I'm gonna say of SmackDown. Wait, did my whole thing just? Thanks to her. I think my pie just. Is anyone still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Go. I thought you had something to say about the match.
Yeah, I really felt. Okay, yeah, I really feel like my internet just cut the whole body shot out. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so it wasn't actually like this match. It's like the next segment.
We can move on to the next segment if you want to.
Okay,
like,
this
if you have nothing to say, we already said.
Okay,
I thought it was
a decent
match. So.
Yep. Good match.
Okay, so yeah, so this next segment that we're gonna go straight into. Thank God he's back into wrestling now. I'm just like,
yes. It's the moment we've been all waiting for. Ben, are you gonna choose a person as well?
Yep. Oh, I was, but
was I the only one though that thought like the little how he kind of like messed up at the end was like kind of funny? He reminded me of Nicolas Cage.
Wow!
Like at the very end of it, like he was like, I'll come and I'll have to just. I'll kick their asses. Like he looked at. Just go back and watch it. He looked like Nick Cage. I swear to God.
Okay, I've got. Okay, yeah, I will kind of actually now say this. Kurt Hawkins is kind of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time now. I don't know why.
Oh my God, man. But yeah, we had Danny Bryan come out. He made his little promo talking about talking about how he doesn't want to be, a manager not manager, but what is he again? He doesn't want to wear blazers. General manager. He was talking about how he doesn't want to be general manager. He doesn't want to be wearing blazers or whatever they're called. And he doesn't want to go to meetings. He doesn't want to do
whatever that's called. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, he takes his thing off and he throws it aboard. Whatever that thing is. I don't want to wear those anymore.
I think that's what they should. They could do that. They could have him do his best Nick Cage impression as his gimmick for the next character. Nick Cage, Daniel Bryan.
And oh, it's just like nope. Okay.
So yeah, he comes out and he starts talking about how he wants to be in a match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, him and Shane, and we already speculated this happening. We talked about it multiple times about Shane and Daniel Bryan supposedly going to be fighting against Sami and Kevin Owens, and he upped the stakes with the match as well, saying if Sami and Zayn wins, they get to keep their contract or stay with WWE. So if they win, they get to stay, and most likely that's what's gonna happen. Is they're gonna win over Shane and Daniel Bryan, because that's why I feel that's gonna happen. Even though we would like to see Daniel Bryan win his first match back, but I don't see a release happening with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens unless they turn it into something else. Like, okay, they lost, but let's keep the rivalry going and keep them still hired. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we all access to that?
There's gonna be some big. There's gonna be a big thing, a big aha or twist.
Yeah.
Something crazy's gotta happen.
Yeah.
Like maybe Daniel Bryan turns heel or joins Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Maybe
crazy.
Shane McMahon sees something that he thinks is Daniel Bryan signaling to them or working with them, and he attacks Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's gonna be something big gonna happen. It's gonna be a good match overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think Daniel Bryan? Wait, guys. Soul says, do you think Daniel Bryan loses his first match back? Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, like we don't want to see him lose his first match back, but if the stakes is with their careers on the line, like Sami and Kevin Owens' careers on the line, if they lose, then they lose their job. Supposedly.
And here's the thing, first matches really don't matter.
Yeah.
What matters right now to WrestleMania, as far as WrestleMania is concerned even, is
the match is over.
As far as WrestleMania is concerned, is that they get those subscriptions leading into WrestleMania, and that they get the ticket sales for WrestleMania, and that WrestleMania is a big show. Whether or not Daniel Bryan wins or loses his WrestleMania match or his first match back at all are irrelevant because what really matters here is that Daniel Bryan's wrestling again and not whether he wins or loses. That's the excitement of this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why Kevin Owens and Sami's gonna win. But something's big is gonna happen in that match. But yep.
Some big crazy.
Yep, that's that.
Okay, I just realized something.
Just realized what?
Okay, so yes, there has actually been like a little bit of an article that has been going around that Shane McMahon might be missing WrestleMania.
No, he had diverticulitis, but it's just like Daniel Bryan. He wouldn't have came out there and said Shane McMahon's going to be there last week if he was going to miss it. So we can pretty much squash that. We all know that Shane McMahon could have his head chopped off and he would probably still show up for WrestleMania. If there's anything Shane McMahon can do, it's take a licking and keep on ticking. That man will die for WWE. I swear to God.
That is true.
You may not like him. He may not be that good of a wrestler, but he can take some punishment. So he'll show up. I have no doubt about it. If they have to drag him out there and hold him up.
I agree. He will show up.
Let me quickly check.
If only for his own ego. Because I do believe that Shane McMahon has a big ego, even though he plays a face. I think he really, really loves himself.
I agree with that. I mean, it's also been part of his gimmick as well in WWE, of him loving himself. So I don't know if it was a gimmick at all or was a real thing, but it was way back.
Maybe it's just my memory of him as that heel.
Yeah.
That just makes me think that must be how he really is. But
yeah.
I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah. I feel you.
Hey, make sure so actually just tweet this out to some more people.
Soul says, I hope Rock wins so I can trash talk. Alright, Soul.
Oh, good. Okay.
Alright, let's move on to the most amazing match ever. New Day versus Bludgeon Brothers. Ooh.
Which is this match?
I mean, the New Day trashed the Bludgeon Brothers pre-match. They kind of went in there, beat up Bludgeon Brothers. And then once the bell rang, I think Xavier Woods took most of the match. Xavier Woods, I think he took most of the match.
Isn't he injured? Wait, isn't he injured? Where is injured?
Huh? Who's injured?
You know, freaking the one that you said. Xavier Woods. Isn't he supposed to be having like a spinal injury?
Are you sure?
No, he was temporarily injured from the storyline thing.
Yeah, that was temporary.
He's fine.
Yeah, because he was fighting in that
match. I just realized that he actually had apparently he actually had one of those back things.
And then we saw a turn from, you know, Luke and Harper. They started beating the shit on the three members of New Day.
Look strong as hell.
And then
they sent all of them running.
And then my boys Usos came out to, you know, help. And I really want to see, you know, Usos and New Day in a stable. And I'm still hoping and praying for that to come, because all this with the Usos and the New Day it just makes me want it more and more. Because it's really good. I really would love it to see it. I'm not going to lie. I really would love to see it.
Walking over here talking about his Uso and New Day faction.
Yeah, it's my dream faction. They're teasing me with this, man. They're teasing me. They know they want to. Okay. They know I want to see it, and they're just like, you know what? Let's throw Usos out there. Usos gonna help. Usos gonna team. Oh yeah, New Day Usos. Fuck up Bludgeon Brothers. Destroy the domination.
Okay. Enzo is in jail. I'm going to search right now.
Destroy and dominate. They're going to be the new...
Enzo is in jail.
They're going to be... If they do make a faction with Usos and New Day, it's going to be the new... what is it? Domination? What was that stable called?
Oh,
Nation of Domination?
Nation of Domination. There you go.
What's tag team in history?
Did you just call that the worst tag team of the history? What? The Rock was in there.
I know.
I don't know what you're on about.
Like that exact tag
you said it was the worst tag team ever. Why? Because you hated D'Lo Brown? Is that why? I mean, yes, Mark Henry was in it. Owen Hart was in it. Fucking Farouk was in it. The Rock was in it. It was a good stable back in the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Hang on. Did you actually just say Owen Hart? I swear you just said Owen Hart.
Yeah, he was in there for a little bit. I mean, he didn't play a big role. Yeah.
What was that voice crack I just did? Really?
Really? Really?
I was like, what? Okay, I need to check this. Owen Hart. Hang on.
SmackDown Live, how you doing? They're doing pretty good in SmackDown.
Okay.
SmackDown is showing up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was what Soul said. The new SmackDown match is gonna be Enzo Amore. That's like what it means.
No, thank you.
Oh.
No, thank you. So, do we want to go on to the next match? Like, you guys got anything to say about the Bludgeon Brothers, or did we already discuss everything already with the Bludgeon Brothers in past podcasts?
Okay, so yes, the next match we have is Dolph Ziggler taking on Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Are you even here? Steve, can you hurry up already?
He's over there dazing off.
No, I was reading. I'm sorry.
Come on, guys.
What was the question?
What are you reading?
You got anything to say about the match? Or nothing?
Are we talking about the Bludgeon Brothers? Or
yes, we're still talking about that.
It wasn't a match. It was a promo with...
Yeah, a promo match kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought it made the Bludgeon Brothers look strong as hell because they cleared the ring of the New Day and the Usos. Mm-hmm. So obviously, you know, just like last week, they're going to have to team up. They're going to have to join forces and take out the Bludgeon Brothers. Bludgeon Brothers won't win, but, you know, I think it'll be another classic with a twist involved. So I'm optimistic, especially because it's WrestleMania. New Day and Usos will probably have been working for a month on the spots that they're going to do and all these great things that are going to happen. So you can expect fireworks. Good. It's a WrestleMania match. I think the New Day is probably only WrestleMania match, right? They hosted But if they had a match,
I don't know.
Wait, didn't they actually host WrestleMania?
Yeah, they hosted.
Yes, they
but I don't know.
But they didn't have a match. I don't think they've ever had a match at WrestleMania. I don't think so. And neither have the Usos. So you can guarantee they're coming up with everything. They're wanting to pull out all the stops. They want to make this the best match they can. So I have hopes for this one to maybe be match of the night. Even though AJ Styles and Shinsuke is going to happen, I think Usos and New Day might be able to steal the show.
Mm-hmm. That would be... It's going to be a good match. I'll tell you that. It's going to be a good one.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and now, of course, let me just change the match just for one more match. Hold on, so...
Yeah, we can move on to the next thing now.
Yeah,
Tyler Breeze,
a little bit of a squash match.
Another one of Soul's favorites. This wasn't a
Dolph
squash
Ziggler.
match. This was a...
I said a little bit of a squash match, right?
It's a comedy match. This was to make people laugh.
Yeah, I got you. I got it.
Okay.
It was Dolph Ziggler. I love Dolph Ziggler. He's a good performer. He's really good.
Also, speaking of Dolph Ziggler,
am I a big fan of Tyler Breeze and Breezango and them? I don't know. I did like Breezango in the beginning. I thought they had a pretty interesting gimmick going on. But it just seems like it's kind of getting boring. And I can feel how I read about rumors of there's going to be a breakup of Breezango. And I can kind of understand that.
I don't want it, man. I love Breezango because they're still hilarious when they do stuff in the ring.
You think so?
I think they need to be allowed to do at least one comedy match per night. They need to be given one match to just make people laugh. Laughter is just as important. I was thinking
their promos, their promos or whatever you want to call their fucking things that
you probably didn't care for most of the shows that they were promoting, at the time. But it has to be relevant to whoever's watching at the time. But my point here is that it doesn't have to be the promos. I'm talking about the matches themselves. The times that they've done like comedy in their matches, I really laughed.
Yeah, there was some funny moments, especially when they dress up.
The things we remember most from like the Attitude Era, besides just like the Stone Cold stuff, we remember the comedy. We remember like the Kurt Angle putting on the funny hat and the funny stuff.
And the funny shit DX did.
The Attitude Era was full of comedy, and we need more. And Breezango was comedy. And I love comedy. As a fan of comedy, I think there needs to be more. Like when
it's good. I'm not gonna lie, but it gets boring.
Tyler Breeze dressed up as the old woman back then. Remember?
Yeah, that was funny. Costume. That was funny.
And they had the horse thing and the stuff. And the in-ring stuff was hilarious. Even when they were losing every match, I laughed so hard sometimes. And they brought out a little bit of that this week when and last week when he rode on Chad Gable or whatever. Like he was a horse. That was pretty hilarious. And this week, he chased him around the ring and stuff like that, and it was kind of silly.
Breezango's too good.
It was kind of dumb too because Breezango was just sitting there, Fandango was just sitting there watching his partner lose because of him and stuff. So and just sit there and took a super kick to the face. But it was to put Dolph Ziggler over, I guess, and that's always good. So, I'll take it.
But even if Dolph Ziggler... Like, how is that to put Dolph Ziggler over, though? Because you can't say Breezango is a godly tag team. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, they're a comedy tag team. So, if you lost against Breezango or fucking Tyler Breeze, it'd be pretty bad.
It wouldn't. Not if they won through trickery.
Yeah.
Not if they pulled some stunt or like.
Well, if it was clean, it would be pretty stupid. If it was clean match. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So.
Yeah, I need more comedy in my WWE.
I will always remember Breezango. Shut up, Soul.
Breezango. Oh, great. Okay, so
the last match, the main event, fucking squash match. Squash match.
Making his way to the ring. From Hollywood, Florida.
Okay, how is this actually like a little bit of a squash?
Because why is it relevant other than keeping Shinsuke active? There's no relevance to this fucking match whatsoever.
It was story.
What story? Oh, story to Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable.
No, forget them. They got whatever. They keep
Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania for the WWE title.
So is this crowd, Michael, and
could be
justifiably
like
so.
a dream match, like in opinion, like for okay. What am I even actually talking about right now? Like I'm trying to talk about the Styles vs AJ match. I know this match has happened before, but this is actually like one of the matches I'm kind of excited for to see at WrestleMania. Just, I was saying Sheep.
I really liked the fake out, the almost need a face, and you know, I felt like it built up because they're two baby faces, and there would have been almost zero tension otherwise. Like it was just supposed to be, we're supposed to just have this great match, just because, you know. When now it's like, oh look, I can fuck with you, like. You know, and there's a little bit of mind games and stuff when pretty much as of now, you know, Shinsuke's been pretty lackluster as far as character development goes, you know what I mean? There hasn't been much. We haven't seen much character from him besides his entrance.
Oh, it's because
and that was character. That was him playing mind games, and I enjoyed that.
Well, it's kind of hard to have character for foreign people like Asuka and Shinsuke. So I get what you're saying there, of giving him character. But, like, it's still really hard to give him character. I mean, I guess they put it in a good way of giving him, like, good character in a way. I mean, they tried the best they could do because Shinsuke, he's really bad at English. He's really, really bad. And when he talks, sometimes it's really hard to understand what he's saying. And giving him character does help a bit. I mean, you don't want to keep him like a boring kind of wrestler. All that's good is his entrance and his fighting style. I mean, I can't say you really don't need to listen to him like for promos or anything, because in the wrestling entertainment, it's been proved that you don't need to talk or have promos to be good. I mean, for one example is Japan wrestling, how the Bullet Club there is foreign to Japan, and people that watch Japan wrestling, the majority of the audience there is Japanese, and they don't really understand English much. And what Bullet Club does, they don't talk too much, but they use universal languages, like stuff that most people will understand, like swearing and arrogance and all that stuff, and just gestures in general. And that's good. It gives them, you know, gives them character in a way as, you know, the Japanese not really understanding the English language, you know what I'm saying?
But I think they try too hard to make Shinsuke speak English.
Yeah.
Let him learn English in the country on his own time. When he comes out and he has something he needs to say, let him have a translator. Let somebody come out and say, put captions on, subtitle it. I don't care. Let him speak all the Japanese he wants. I feel like I would know more of what he's saying if he was speaking Japanese than when he speaks English.
Like what Asuka does when Asuka... comes out and talks and has her fish. She goes,
for
she's talking like
she's saying some shit like, bitch, you better back the fuck up, I will fucking kill you, you know, some crazy shit. So I can tell more what she's saying then when she's being forced to speak English in a promo.
Yeah.
I would rather they just let the foreign people who can't speak English well go fucking nuts in their own language. And have a translator or subtitles, because it's scripted anyway, for the most part.
He kicks him right in the gut.
You know, let's just do it right. You know, stop trying to force people into stuff that they're not. You know, it's great to think outside the box, but make them take English classes, you know, outside, and when they feel comfortable doing a promo in English, let them do a promo in English. But until then, don't force it on them. I hate that.
Yeah. That's true.
No question, he's found a
It'll
Yeah, and
come.
I'm kind of
It's like it's almost disrespectful. So not to us, but to let them, to make them do that. Because if we went to somebody else's country, I would be embarrassed to like do a promo in their language unless I, you know, knew I was doing it right.
Have you watched
Gets out of there in a hurry. To the outside
Japan Wrestling and
now.
seen Bullet Club promos?
Yep,
It's kind of similar in that matter. They don't talk too much in their promos. Like, it's not as big as WWE's, but they do have some aggressive speaking. They do swear and whatnot, and they say universal languages. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna fuck you up is like the gist of what they would say against somebody they wrestle in Japan. And even though the wrestler that they're fighting is Japanese or whatever, and they don't really understand English, they know we're gonna fuck you up. Is, you know, they know what that means. Because you can't say that not everybody in the world doesn't understand the word fuck, because I'm pretty sure one of the first things you learn in a different language is the swear words, and you hear it a lot. So you don't need to say much to prove a point or to be good at wrestling or promos or whatever.
Yeah, but then of course, is there anything else that we should cover on SmackDown? Or is it
No, that's pretty much it. Unless you want to talk about like what you think would happen in WrestleMania for SmackDown and Raw. If you want to go like through that, or you just want to go into NXT. Want to go into NXT?
Okay, can we actually start like do some little predictions right now?
You want to do
About,
predictions?
what's gonna happen at WrestleMania? Yeah,
If you want to, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean,
some of my predictions right now, like
NXT is not really WrestleMania. They have their own thing on Saturday, I believe.
Oh, do NXT? Oh, really?
Takeover. Saturday and Saturday is going to be a big day for wrestling. You've got Takeover in the Hall of Fame,
and also WrestleMania.
I know you don't care for Hall of Fame, but I always think it's great to watch these old people go and share stories, and you get some.
I never watched
It's
Hall of
always
Fame.
interesting. You never watch? It's interesting. You get all kinds of like different looks at people, especially people you haven't seen in a while. But there's always someone I want to see at every Hall of Fame, and I guess no, I haven't seen the Dudley Boys in a while. That'll be interesting. They're being introduced by Edge and Christian. That'll be interesting. And that's what happens, you know, like, there's always, like, stories that they tell, like, you know, this one time, blah, 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 and all that. And it's always interesting. And as a fan, they're enjoyable to watch.
Okay,
You should
yeah,
definitely
I think
watch this shit.
does want us to talk about NXT, which I don't even know what.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it,
Yeah,
especially
talk
since
about
Street
NXT.
actually watched it this week.
Yeah, she watched NXT this week.
Yo, even I did. Which I,
Did you like it? Did you like it as a whole? You know?
Who you talking to, me or her?
Yeah, you.
some of
I thought it was pretty. But he's talking to me. NXT. So It was the first time I watched NXT for a while, and I don't really know much what's going on, but seeing the fights and seeing the promos, I thought it was pretty good, the promos and the fights. I mean, there was a squash match in there that I seen. At least I thought it was a squash match because there's no one I really knew. And I thought, Lars Sullivan. I never really liked or knew. No, I couldn't say new, but Lars Sullivan fighting against some random dude I never heard of or knew. And that was pretty much a squash match. But
that's all he fights is squash matches. He beat Cassius Ohno, whatever. Cassius Ohno is pretty much a jobber now, so that was a squash match, pretty much. It was a bigger squash match.
Okay.
So, what was the first match we had? What's their face? War Machine and TM61, right? Was that it?
Well, no, the first thing was the debut of EC3.
Oh yeah, EC3. Somebody I don't really give a fuck about.
And the announcement of a new title.
Yeah.
So I do think the new title is a great idea for NXT. I think it's going to help a lot because you actually have 3 belts that can be represented. You've got the UK Championship. You'll have the North American. I guess that's what's called. Yeah, NXT North American, and then you have the NXT World title. So it's basically NXT's version of Intercontinental and European.
True.
Which makes me believe that they're going to bring the European title back.
Or Intercontinental and United States.
Yeah, Intercontinental and United States. My bad. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, so also William Regal also did actually announce that there will be a match, an unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
But this wasn't during the same promo. That's just later.
That wasn't during the same promo.
We're still on the promo that we started.
This was actually I think this was actually beforehand.
No, that was after.
It was beforehand.
Okay, maybe, but that's not what we were talking about at the given time.
Yeah. Okay.
So just hold on, we'll get to it. So I like I hadn't really seen EC3 before because I don't watch that show that he came from. Yes, and hadn't really seen his promos or him wrestle or anything like that. So I guess I gotta say I'm kind of excited. He's gonna be probably a really good heel.
Who? EC3?
EC3, yeah.
I don't know who the fuck he is, so I could care less. I seen him on the show. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah, well, he looks like he'll be a good dickhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Got like this big square face and stuff like that, like a big jock or something. And I mean, the promo was good.
Oh yeah, he did say that was the beginning. He announced.
Yep, told you.
That's right.
Okay, but this
he also announced an unsanctioned match between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and I guess it'll
Johnny
be.
Gargano wins. Okay, so if Johnny Gargano wins,
okay, Ben, you want to take over the whole thing we're talking about? Go ahead, Ben. Let's go. You lead the show.
Okay.
You lead the show.
Okay, so...
Go ahead, Ben. Your turn to lead.
So like the reason why this match was actually planned out because Johnny Gargano, he actually went over to the Tommaso Ciampa's house, like in the middle of the night, started knocking at Tommaso Ciampa's door, and then Tommaso Ciampa went to William Regal. Talked about he wants Johnny Gargano in a match, just some sort of match. So William Regal, he said at NXT Takeover New Orleans, it's going to be Johnny Gargano taking on Tommaso Ciampa, and if Johnny Gargano actually does win, he gets put back on the NXT brand. But if Tommaso Ciampa wins the match, then Johnny Gargano is banished from NXT.
So
yeah.
Yeah, Ben. Go on, keep going.
Okay, folks, you just heard the tall tale version of what happened, because odds are most likely Johnny Gargano didn't go to his house and go knocking on. That's the storyline. What we're presented with.
I will actually show you what the video I'll put in the Discord.
No, they said that happened, but that didn't really happen.
Yeah, it's storyline, man. You're getting a little too excited here.
Yeah, you know, it's just third.
So,
that's the storyline.
Basically, what he said was how it went down, and you know, it was a good promo. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. It's been building for a while.
Yeah, the last time I seen NXT, they were in a feud, so it's been building for a while.
Well, Tommaso Ciampa was injured for a while, and then he came back in and debuted at the thing where he came in with the crutch and beat the crap out of Johnny Gargano to get him kicked out of NXT. So it's been a pretty crazy ride, and I'm glad to see it finally come to an end. I'm not sure. Johnny Gargano's probably has to lose, and because what else is there for Johnny Gargano to do in NXT besides, I guess, win the belt? You know, I know you don't really do much of the NXT, but there doesn't seem to be much more for Johnny Gargano in NXT. I would rather see him move to the main roster, even if it's a small-time role for now, up until he can get his push. Especially with all the new talent that's going to be coming into NXT. I just see him getting lost in the shuffle if he stays there.
That's true.
So it was a good promo. It was a good thing, good deal. And that'll, I guess, take us to the Dusty Rhodes Classic, if you want to. Unless you have anything else to say about the William Regal announcement.
Yeah, Benny.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Boy, you got anything to say?
I don't know. Oh no, hang on. I'm actually just looking also
trying to look up
this Kenny Omega thing.
Okay, so yeah, that leads us to the Dusty Rhodes Classic. We had the Authors of Pain and the Street Profits. I knew how this was going to go, and it kind of sucked because Montez Ford was just sitting there the whole time and let his partner get beat for no reason. You know, he could have jumped in and stopped and helped the match, but he's too busy chasing Ellering because he spilled his drink. It's like...
Oh. So, this is actually my first time of seeing these guys fight. This is my first time seeing them fight. I never seen them fought before, so that was my first time seeing them fight, and I thought it was pretty corny, like the
AOP or the other guys.
Huh?
You're talking about the Street Profits?
Street Profits, yeah, Street Profits. That's what I'm talking about. I think the gimmick is pretty corny. I think they're just trying.
It is.
I think they're trying to do something funny. Yeah, I'm saying that they're just trying to do something funny on NXT because I don't know who else would have a funny, corny gimmick on NXT. Who else would?
Heavy Machinery in a way, the way they move and act are pretty funny, and there's a few that are gonna be at the, but that's definitely their forte, I think, and I like the Street Profits, so hopefully they'll get maybe a push or something later, but I don't really see it happening. There's too many other good tag teams in NXT right now. It was a good match, I guess, but Authors of Pain they pretty much murdered dude.
There's a lot of
and then the squash match that we already discussed that was kind of meh.
The next match.
Oh yeah, that was a squash match, Ben. We were just talking about. We kind of really discussed it.
We can just skip that over. And then there was a fight in the...
like on WTK18, that's what I'm actually talking about. 2K18. Like, I'm still waiting for your players. Like, I swear my English is so bad, but I don't know why.
What, Ben?
Guess he's waiting on.
My English is so bad today. Yeah, I'll just wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just in the lobby. I was just sitting there. Well, because
here's one thing that stood out to me on this one, is that this is supposed to be all about women's wrestling and women's equality, and as soon as Dakota Kai comes out for the second week in a row, like she's in a like last week I think Shayna Baszler came out and just made Dakota Kai look like a little bawling child in the corner, like scared, ducking and quivering from Shayna Baszler. And this week, they interrupt her coming out. She came out to the ring for no reason. Like she was just coming out to sit in the corner and watch.
A lot of people
Aleister
got
Black.
beat up to shit in the back, right? During
I guess so,
NXT? Like, wasn't there two backstage matches, or not matches, but two backstage encounters or whatever that happened?
Okay, yeah, I know there was like Andrade, Cien, Almas.
Yeah, it was Aleister Black and Almas, and
yeah, it just lasted so long. It seemed like more than one.
Yeah, it was like there was a lot of activity going on in NXT. This is my first time watching
like
it.
A lot of. They probably showed like a lot of back footage to show you storyline.
Yeah, they did show some back footage as well. They did show some other back footage as well, but still, it was a lot of activity. So before we get into any further, and which was the next thing is what we kind of just talked about was the Almas and Aleister Black brawl. But before we get anything further, just to give my thoughts about NXT right now, since it's my first time watching it, their layout on NXT is so unique. It's different. It's different than Raw and SmackDown layout. Yeah. Like to me, honestly, I think they're trying to push it too hard. They're trying to make it too official. You know what I'm saying? Like they have all this. The commentary in the form factor of NXT it just seems too official. It's like they're trying too hard to be an official kind of brand. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that is a horrible Velveteen Dream.
Oh man,
his face is all kinds of jacked up.
Damn.
How is it bad? Let me know in the chat if it's kind of bad.
I mean, I got a Velveteen Dream as well. I see mine.
Yeah, mine's better than that.
You probably have the one I have.
Let me see.
I think it's the same.
Oh god, I got the same one. I think.
Yeah, I got
the same damn one.
I got this one.
But I don't use them. Same one.
Which one you have?
We've all got the same one. It's the same one. You just have the different attire. Watch, change the attire, Street.
Different attire, yeah. Yep, you're right. We got this same one.
Yo, should we... Okay, okay, can I just say something? Can we not just do Velveteen Dream versus Velveteen Dream?
All Velveteen Dreams? Alright, let's do that.
Let's do this.
Wow, we had a guy in here earlier wanting a legitimate good match like all Seth Rollins, and we just screw him and say, let's do all Velveteen Dream. Like, why?
Oh, God.
It's just like, I guess the thing about Velveteen Dream is he immerses himself in that character. So
yeah.
I can't say that I really care for the gimmick, but it's what it is, and I think he's got a lot of charisma, a lot of pizzazz. The kid's got a future.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on a second. Yeah, I need to put something in the chat.
They are official brand. It's not. That's not what I was trying to say. So that's not what I was trying to say. I think I was just trying to say that they pushing it too much. Of trying to be so official, like some kind of sports, like UFC kind commentary kind of thing. Like I don't know what they're trying to do. It It's just weird.
You just said that because Mauro Ranallo is one of the commentators.
No.
The other
like,
commentators, like,
okay,
not
so
very,
all right,
Phillips.
so let me just ask a question. I don't know if this is for every episode of NXT,
Baby
but
Michael Cole.
do they always go in the backstage of the control room and be like, so this is what we're doing here in the backstage of the control room. We have this. Do they always do that in every NXT?
They didn't do that in this one.
Yes, they did.
At what point did they say this is where we do this?
No, they didn't say the exact words, but she's like, okay, I'm here in the back in the control room, and we're doing, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. But they were in a fucking control room talking about, had like all kinds of shit going on in the background, trying to look all kind of official, showing off shit and whatnot. It's like, calm down, bruh. We know what the fucking control room looks like. You don't need to speak from the goddamn control room. It kind of sound like a fucking news anchor over here. Calm down with your shit. Oh man, look at that face.
Wow.
Who's that face?
Okay, so this is gonna. Let's just go straight back into the into the NXT. Good lord. That laugh though.
Larry.
I can't see it again. I can't see it again. We have to skip. I can't see it again.
I'm so crying right now. I'm crying.
That face is so horrible, man.
Traditional WWE
Yo, whoever created this, thank God you gave us some life.
Well, we're looking at
That's too bad. That's just really bad.
Yo, whoever actually created,
I know these superstars are excited to compete here in the same city where superstar Billy Graham defeated Bruno Sammartino for the WWE Championship back in 1977.
Oh god.
All right, I gotta contain my composure.
That leads us back to the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, surprise entry into the Dusty Rhodes Classic versus Pete Dunne, or Sanity, yeah. I kind of like the pairing is odd. It's kind of like that Sheamus and Cesaro thing. You know, it's like they fought each other and then they were like, you know what, fuck it, let's team up. And I think it's interesting, and I really like the last match of them. I forget who they fought, but they won. Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Pete Dunne just kind of looked at him like, and kind of cocked his head. It was this weird look, like he's like, yeah, whatever.
He may have to start reevaluating.
So I think that'll be interesting.
Because I like Sanity.
I do too, but I think they're moving to the main roster.
I'm pretty sure Soul is all about Sanity losing. It's like, yeah, Sanity loves. Fuck them.
Back in the ring now.
I like Sanity, but I think it's their time to go to the main roster.
Yeah.
So I think this is time for them to do that,
roster.
and for them to put over the team of Roderick and Pete, because it's going to give Pete Dunne 2 belts and make him look really strong.
Ooh, 2 belts.
That one hits his
2
chin.
belts.
He's taken to the outside.
Okay, can I just quickly say something now?
Yo,
Yo, that laughing is like to make me so crying right now. I'm starting to cry. Oh god.
Are you crying, Dad? Don't cry now. It's okay.
Well, I think they'll win because it was the main event. And Pete Dunne has put on some match of the year type matches before, and he's got a huge fan base right now.
His favorite move.
The character, oh my god. Dude, okay, whoever created this, okay, I'm actually going to say this right now. Whoever created this, just make sure you actually put the correct face on this time. Not like this stupid.
This is getting out of hand, guys.
He's simply reminding him that he's here.
Gross. He says gross. I don't want to see that.
Maybe TNA. Okay.
TNA, what the fuck?
Yeah. He's taking some offense.
Okay.
He can't rest on his laurels here.
Yeah, now it's actually now mainly known as Impact, which I think Impact has actually now like got even better because of all these new storylines. Like such as the one.
I haven't been watching it, man. I wish I could watch Ring of Honor Impact Wrestling because it's not on TV. Okay, so Ring of Honor does come on TV here, but it comes on during the weekend. I ain't gonna watch that shit during the weekend.
It's gotta be hard to rebound
that one. Yo, I really want our Ring of Honor just to come to Australia because
they have Ring of Honor on the weekend.
We don't fully get it.
Well, just like DVR it or TiVo it or something.
No, it's way old by the time you watch it during the weekend. What's the original airtime for Ring of Honor? Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or what? What's the original airtime?
Oh, they don't air it until way late?
I don't know, man. All I know it comes on. I remember it coming on Wednesdays or Thursdays or something. And like when I see Ring of Honor on, it's usually on a Sunday or something.
No, he's got to get up, and he's got to get up now.
I don't know the original air date of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it doesn't broadcast. Oh, I don't have broadcast.
And yeah, they do come air way late as well. I think they air it at like 10 o'clock or 11 or something like that.
Well, you gotta consider it's happening in Japan, and it's a completely different time.
Ring of Honor is in Japan? Oh, it's not.
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay, alright.
Well, it's in the UK.
It's in America.
It's in America?
Really taking it to him. Man, this is
America.
not good at all. He's sending a message.
I guess so. I don't know much about the other promotion.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
It seems to be working for him.
But wait, which two? Hang on. Didn't the EC3 Ricochet come from Impact? Yes, yeah. He says Ring of Honor is in America.
Just making his presence felt there. Not every move is designed to get the fans off their feet.
Okay, Street. So, what is your opinion on the Velveteen Dream right now on this character?
I haven't watched Velveteen Dream fight, so.
Looking for the win.
I'm gonna be like putting laughing tonight. Ring of Honor stars wrestle at New Japan as well.
Yeah, I know they have some wrestlers in New Japan that goes on Ring of Honor. I know that.
Hey, it seems to be working for him.
Hang on.
The sledgehammer connects.
So Ricochet, he was not actually part of Impact. He was part of Ring of Honor. Which sledgehammer? That's what he
Cole, I've lost count of how many times we've seen that tonight.
Again, the sledgehammer lands.
This is getting out of hand, guys.
Clearly, I can't wait to April 7th
here. More like trying to send him to a local
in
the
New Orleans,
reminding him
Lakefront Arena. It's going to be Kenny Omega taking on Cody Rhodes.
You're not going to win many matches when you're down.
He doesn't appear to be in a hurry to get up here.
So what kind of news and rumors have we got?
Honestly, I haven't really looked up any news or rumors.
Well, there's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about. Is the Hulk Hogan thing.
And Byron, he's still down after that one.
So one thing that I don't understand is that I clearly saw like a week or two ago, or a month or two, I don't know how long ago, but saw and read Mark Henry say that he was okay with Hulk Hogan coming back. But now he, at the premiere for the Andre the Giant thing or whatever, for an interview or whatever, he decided that he's not. Now, I don't care that he decided that he's not. I don't necessarily see why he would change his mind now that it's more suitable for, or now that they're thinking about doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, wait, they're actually going to? Well, then let me say no. Let's not. But either way, I think it's too late for him to take it back because he already said it.
Okay.
He's bringing it back inside the ring
now. We need to also talk about some of like. Okay. I actually don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just like really confused on this. Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes.
Oh, no, I got more WWE rumors.
Okay.
There apparently are pretty good Vegas odds of The Rock appearing at WrestleMania. There are also pretty good WrestleMania odds, Vegas odds of Conor McGregor appearing at WrestleMania. So, they're not even good odds.
Oh, and he's still down, Byron.
There are people that you wouldn't win a lot of money if you put a bet down saying Conor McGregor was going to be at WrestleMania and he showed up. You wouldn't win much money.
To his feet here.
Oh,
clearly in a bad way right
another
now.
thing I need to talk about. Also, Maurice and Miz actually had a baby. Had a baby girl.
Yeah, I guess that's a good little thing. A little, I forget what they named it.
Interesting
they named
to go
it.
for the slap there.
Name of it.
He gets him with a reversal.
Okay, I can't even actually find the body thing because my computer's
Well,
so
it doesn't
slow.
really. It was a baby, and it did baby things like shit and vomit, and it'll probably want to be a wrestling baby.
Be in a hurry to get up here.
Like all.
He has it in him anymore.
Okay, also Arnold.
Gosh, the shoulders down.
Okay, so the person who actually played the Terminator.
All
Okay, so
WWE aside, you guys know Conor McGregor holds the longest reign for the lightweight title. Yeah,
That's true. That is true.
he holds the longest reign.
Yeah, I can't find this stupid fucking. But I just can't find this. Oh, here it is. Found it. Finally. Miz and Maurice want to baby girl. What's it called? That's what I need to check on now. Can you imagine Bullet Club showing up at WrestleMania 34?
Right. Cause fucking.
So, any thoughts or predictions for WrestleMania that you think might happen? Any things you wish would happen?
Okay, yeah. I think that we already know like one of the predictions already probably gonna happen to watch. Roman Reigns gonna defeat Brock Lesnar.
I don't think it's possible for what's his name, Cody Rhodes to appear, but anybody else would be possible. Cody Rhodes won't appear.
It's possible. Hang on. Also, this is the thing I'm actually talking about. The article about the Miz and
Go on.
Okay, so yeah. I can't actually pronounce like the first name of it. Okay, so yeah, so the Miz and Maurice welcome daughter Monroe Sky Mazanin. That's actually like what they've called it.
Interesting. But predictions for WrestleMania. I think we basically already talked about during most of the podcasts. The podcast, since we started the podcast, I should say, we basically kind of gave our predictions and whatnot for WrestleMania. I think what would be good though if we actually made like a live stream just based off of WrestleMania 34 predictions, because then it won't be really lost in the podcast, because I know not a lot of people are gonna go sit there through a 2 hour long podcast and like basically listen to during the entire thing. I know, because for us in general, because we're not like a big ass podcast channel that people want to see. We're just starting out here, so our like last podcast where we talk about stuff is basically just there in case we do gain more subscribers and they want to hear what we got to say for whatever else for the past shows.
This is mostly, in my opinion, it's kind of like practice for when we get the more followers and stuff. We've had our practice and we're not so
we're not so amateur. We're not amateurs, and we can really
get our chops. Earn our stripes.
That's true.
We gotta start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody starts somewhere. But yeah, like I said, we basically talked about WrestleMania already. And
Yeah,
there's not much I have to say other than what we already said multiple times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, nothing's really changed other than Daniel Bryan thing and whatnot. Not much has changed.
Yeah, of course. This is not pro
Soul
wrestling
says
unlimited.
Brock will defeat Roman. Nah, fam, he won't.
Yeah, that's not pro. Okay, yep.
Why are you yawning? What the hell?
I was tired, boss.
Okay. Yo, should we actually Okay, yeah. Can we actually give? Okay, which one actually asked for the Seth Rollins match? I actually want to see that. Where the fuck it is?
Probably Boss Gamer.
Did you just call a fans motherfucker? Bet.
No.
What the hell is your problem?
No, I was just seeing.
See, that's why nobody likes Bet. Joking.
Yeah, and I'm usually the reason why people always get grounded. Not my fault.
What? Oh God, man!
Shout to the boy.
You're a bad influence.
Sounds like it probably is your fault if you're the reason that people always get grounded.
Wasn't my fault.
Was my fault?
I was like, no, on my fault. Okay, let me quickly check the chat. Yada yada yada.
Well, unless anybody else has any more wrestling stuff, I
think that wraps
pretty
up.
Much wraps her up.
Wraps up the.
Seth Rollins. What the hell, Seth Rollins? Where's the Seth Rollins match? That's all I want to find.
It was Boss Gamer. 99% sure it was Boss Gamer.
Yeah, but we're not doing that match, Ben. So.
Yeah, we're
finished.
We're wrapping up.
We're about to wrap up here.
Okay. Wait, you called me a mofo? No, I didn't call you that. Boss Gamer Bar. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I've got to go see this crazy bunny skin on Fortnite.
Here we go. This dude talking about crazy bunny skin on Fortnite.
Okay, what bunny skin?
It's Easter. I have to get in the Easter mood. Oh, you can't spend money on. You've got too much money. You need to spend on Hulu and stuff that's relevant, Ben.
Excuse me. Yo, I have only got 50 freaking V-Bucks left. That's how actually.
Alright, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up the stream here before the stream gets out of hand and all the context. And we basically talked about everything already.
Yeah, we covered it all.
We covered it all. It was pretty. It was a pretty interesting week on Raw. Raw and SmackDown. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we covered that. We think Roman's gonna win because Brock is gonna be leaving.
I automatically just exit the session.
So yeah, guys.
Ben's like background music.
I appreciate you guys stopping by the stream and hitting that like button and sticking around for the podcast. And hopefully you guys will be around for the next weekend's podcast, which should be more interesting. I think we're gonna we all came to a conclusion or are we gonna do a podcast? Yeah. So are we all agreeing on that? Of doing 2 podcasts? So, are you agreeing on that? 2 podcasts, one after WrestleMania? Because I hope so. Because it would be good to do 2 podcasts.
That's all.
You have to move everything next time.
Yeah. So
we're not gonna. This can't happen again.
So yeah, this can't happen again. You're gonna have to be here, man. We'll buy you one of those little prison TVs and send it your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all come down to acceptance of doing 2 podcasts Saturday, or one Saturday and one Sunday after one after NXT Takeover and one after WrestleMania.
Yep.
Like, it would be good. It would be really good.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure next week's Raw and SmackDown is going to be good too, unless they don't do anything good, which I don't know. But yeah, this week's been good.
No, they have to do great stuff.
Yeah, hopefully they do.
All right. Peace out, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Have a good night or a good day. Over here, it's basically day. And I will catch you guys in the next podcast. Peace out, guys.